Soccer head coach at Davenport. He's going to join us a little bit, talk about the women's soccer. They're off to a great 3-0 start as well. Plus, we've got a couple of special guests from the football team, Myron Harris and Julius Wilkerson. Myron, the running back, redshirt junior, and Julius Wilkerson, linebacker, a grad student. We'll talk with both of them about this Panther season so far. But right now, Coach McEwen joins us right now to talk about this. Boy, I tell you what, the great clinch interception, one of 4 interceptions on the day. You took it right down to the wire, but your guys pulled it out.
That was a great call by you, by the way, on that interception. So was it not clear to you from the box?
No, I guessed.
Great guess. Great job on that. But what a game. What a game. You know, as advertised, we talked about this, Rick, last week, and there were some opportunities for us to separate in that game, and I truly feel it's just part of the process of growth, maturity, gelling as a team. We really need to begin to work as a unit. I was very proud of the defense and their effort, but we had so many opportunities that we earned, but we didn't get points out of it, and that's truly concerning.
Well, that pick by Chris was the 4th of the game, tied a school record for Davenport, and he had 5 takeaways in all, 4 interceptions, 1 fumble recovery. You said this is a ball-hawking defense. You said before the first game that you expect this defense to get some takeaways. They are showing it right now.
Coming in, you know, the both of us talked in the spring, and I saw some things there, and I feel like it's a very opportunistic bunch. They're very physical. This is a very physical bunch in our secondary and our front 7. I'm just excited about, you know, the possibilities of this team, but we still have to find a way offensively to convert more points, you know, out of these turnovers.
Well, it wasn't all defense. The offense got things started off on the right foot once again. 2 backs in the backfield for the first time. Little staggered. He may have a free play. He's going to go long to Preston Smith down the sideline. Preston's got it. 35, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Davenport! Preston Smith, 65 yards, and the Panthers draw first blood. So that was a great start. You've gotten off to good starts offensively in both of your games. We
have, and a credit to this football team. You know, they're definitely coming out ready to play. And, you know, a lot of credit goes out to the staff and preparing these guys and getting them ready. I just feel like it's something that possibly I'm missing here at halftime with these guys, not to get them to take that next step of being hungry and finishing an opponent because we had opportunities. And, you know, we're going to continue to play better, you know, teams. And those better teams are going to make you pay for that.
Well, you and your coaching staff have really developed a winning time mentality with this squad. You're aware of this, I'm sure, but over the last 13 games, 11 games last year, 2 games this year, of those 13 games, 5 of those 13 have been decided in the final minute of play, and many of those in the final seconds of play, and your squad is a 5-0 record in those games.
You know, it truly makes you feel good knowing that your boys they don't give up. Okay, it's a great culture that we have there right now, and it's a very competitive culture. And these kids will fight you to the end. I've had different types of bunches here. Man, this just seems to be kind of similar to last year. Probably a little more scrappier. Okay, but we got some other things that we got to clean up in the penalty end of things. But other than that, I'm liking what I'm seeing. We just got to continue to get some players back healthy because we were without 6 starters in that game. Get some players back healthy here on the bye week and just work on some of the discipline things and then some of the small fundamentals like don't drop 10 passes. But that comes from players, that haven't practiced much because of injuries. So now we get to clean up some of those things, welcome some other players back, and hopefully we can have a much better performance in a couple weeks.
Going into game 1, you stressed that this was the deepest team that you've ever had, and with those injuries you alluded to, you've needed that depth.
We've needed it, and to the success of any team that's championship caliber. It comes back to depth. Any coach will tell you, you've got to be deep. And right now our two deep is pretty solid. We're able to go with the next man up, philosophy, and that's what we've been doing here the first couple of weeks. And the good thing is we're able to get some of those guys back so we can play with confidence and have some very highly competitive practices. We got guys still fighting for jobs, and that's just kind of, our mantra here is, and what we want to do is compete every play. And the statistic you just read there, I didn't know that, but it's a credit to these guys and how gritty they are and how hard they fight. Another stat speaks to your depth. You had 6 interceptions this year, Coach. 6 different players with 1 each. Well, coming in, Coach, Coach McEwen stated that the entire secondary we lost. We lost some really good football players, and I told you we had some concerns, with the group that we were bringing in because they were so young. But all those guys are ball hawks. They're a physical bunch, and it's nice seeing, DBs, able to make catches. And I mean, these guys are making great catches. The one-handed stab by Martin, and then Thompson made that. Was a Sports Center top 10 play by Tye Martin, the one hand. It was phenomenal. And you want to hear it? I would love to hear it. Let's hear it. Okay. This is Tye Martin's incredible one-handed interception in the first half. 2nd and 12, Jenkins in the pocket. Fires it deep down the right sideline, and that one is it is intercepted. What a play by the Panthers defensive back. Going up and making a one-handed interception. And I did eventually say it was Tye Martin, but that was an incredible play as well. That made Flow Sports top 10. It was number 3. Oh, that is great. And I saw the number 1 play. I thought Ty's was better, but I'm a little biased. It is. All right. Well, we're going to a couple players coming up in a little bit. Julius Wilkerson, the GLIAC Defensive Player of the Game, 17 tackles. That's the 3rd highest total ever for a Davenport football player in a game. He was all over the field, pretty much start to finish. He was. I talked to J-Dub before that game, and I asked him how he performed in the first game, and he didn't. You're going to meet him. Here he's a very humble young man, but you can tell that he couldn't wait to get out on that field again. And he showed me why he gave me that look. Man, he was all over the place. He was voted a captain, and I'm very pleased that his efforts on and off the field thus far. And running back Myron Harris finally got a little space for him in between the lines. Got some blocks out there. He exploded down the sideline for a 140-plus yard run. He ended up with 18 carries for 134 yards and a touchdown. And he is one of your keys to your running game. He's a nice addition. We've got a 3-headed monster back there, and at this point in time, the 2 guys are carrying a lot of the workload, but we look to Jair Harden to pick up his workload here pretty quick too, because he's been training as a receiver as well. But Myron, man, he's been a tremendous addition for us, and his work ethic is one of those guys where he leads by example, and he's physical, he's fast, he's quick, he's powerful. I'm excited about this group. We just have to continue to get better every day, stay competitive, play a little smarter, and the future could be bright for us. All right, Coach, you got the off week, and get some healthy guys. Get a little rest, get ready. Next game is a week from this Saturday at home. We'll be at 12 noon, and you want to make sure you join us for that one. Again, it'll be a blackout, and so that's a week from Saturday. We'll talk more about that this coming Tuesday, a week from tonight, when the coaches show. Coach, enjoy the Saturday off. Watch some football, have some fun, and enjoy yourself. I will. We're going to take the kids to the movies tonight, and just kind of relax a little bit, have some popcorn and some sodas, and watch the Equalizer. So it's going to be a good evening for us. All right, enjoy it. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back with Joe White, the women's soccer head coach at Davenport. Talk about that. We've got a lot more to come. Stay with us. The Davenport Coaches Show coming to you from Uccello's in Caledonia.
And we welcome you back to Davenport Coaches Show live from Uccello's in Caledonia. Great place to stop out, whether we're here or not. You want to stop out, Uccello's in Caledonia. Fantastic food, incredible service. The folks here do a great job. They make it a fun place to stop here. So stop out, Uccello's in Caledonia on the Beltline just off of 84th Street. We're visiting now with Joe White, the first-year head soccer coach for the women's program here at Davenport. We officially, at least on the air here, welcome you to Davenport. You've been here for a little bit, and what's it been like for you since you came to DU, Joe?
Yeah, thanks, Rick. It's been fun. It's been really fun. I've inherited a great group of young women, and we've managed to bring in 10 great additions to the program as well, and so it's been smooth. And I had a great relationship with Paige Eli, the old head coach, so she was able to give me the ins and outs of the program, and she left a great base for us. So we're excited for where the program can go, and we've had a great start.
You can tell by the accent, folks, he's from across the pond, a London native here. When did you come across from London, and what brought you to the States?
I moved over to Mississippi back in 2013. So I've been here for 10 years now. I came over originally to play in college. So I played at a small NAIA school down in Mississippi, William Carey University, before transferring to Hastings College, where I graduated in 2018.
In Nebraska, Hastings, Nebraska.
Hastings, Nebraska, yeah.
Now, what about that? I want to go back to that decision time when you left England to come to the States. That had to be a tough decision for you.
Yes. Obviously, all my family are based in London, and so that was obviously the hardest part of making the move. But there was nowhere else where you could continue education and play at a high level of the game. So it was an easy decision with that being the basis. But of course, leaving your family behind is always difficult.
Prior to joining Davenport, Joe was the head coach at Aquinas College, and what a year they had last year at AQ. 21-3-1. They were perfect 11-0 WAC champions, made it to the national quarterfinals. That's an incredible job you did at Aquinas. What drew you to Davenport when that possibility came up? What sold you on the program and coming to DU?
I think competing in the GLIAC at an institution like Davenport was the pull. I think as the assistant at Aquinas, it was a step up from the NAIA into Division II, and being able to compete in probably the most competitive women's soccer conference in the country was a big pull for me, and I like a challenge, and I saw Davenport as a challenge, and it's been a great 8 months since I made the move. Well,
you've had a great start to this year. You're a perfect 3-0, defeating Quincy, Truman State, and Tiffin by a combined 8-0 score. You haven't given up a goal yet. You're 3-0. You've got to be pleased with the young ladies, how they're playing so far.
Yes, definitely really pleased. We've changed a lot of the way we play. We're very intense. We're very aggressive. We are playing the game in the opponent's half. We're physical, and the girls have responded to it fantastically. They listen, they learn, and they're willing to put their body on the line, and it's been as perfect of a start as we could have asked for. So definitely some exciting times ahead for us.
I'll give you a few players that have had some highlights for you already. You just comment on them. First of all, Haley DeKeevers, 3 goals and 2 assists for you.
Yes, so Haley, a junior, she had two great years before, and obviously one of Paige's players, and the great thing about Haley is her work rate and her desire to get better, and she's with the 3 goals, of course, but she also creates an abundance of chances for other players. I think she's got 2 or 3 assists there as well. So Haley's been a great part of the program for the last 2 years, and I think we see her getting better and better every day because of her work rate and her dedication to being better herself, but also helping others around.
Madison Fant has 3 goals for you also, Joe.
Yep, Maddie is a freshman out of Lansing, and she's come in and she's hit the ground running. She's physical, she's fast, she's got an eye for goal, she's very direct and a perfect partner for Haley. I think they've made a great partnership as a front two, and they've been able to work off each other, and they're sharing the goals between them and creating chances for each other, which is incredibly important when you're moving forward into conference, because it's very easy to shut down one player, but it's tough to shut down two.
And your goalie, Gabriana Benick, has not allowed a goal, just 4 saves, but that speaks for your defenders as well as anything, right?
Yes, we've definitely worked a lot on what we do off the ball. I think that's been the basis for what we've done and what we've started to do here with the women's program. And she made 2 fantastic saves at 2-0 in the Quincy game, first game of the season. And I think if one of those chances goes in, we could be sat here in a way different place. So she came up big when Gabby came up big when we needed her, but we can't fault the whole back line throughout those first 3 games. They've defended well, they've put the body on the line, they've outrun people, they've out-tackled, they've out-competed, and we're blessed to have some great defensive players on our back line.
Joe, back to your playing days, you played with the Grand Rapids Football Club, where you had some fun, and that's where you met your wife, I believe, right?
Yes. So I played for 3 seasons for Grand Rapids Football Club, who were a big semi-professional team here in town. Unfortunately, through COVID, they didn't survive, so it is no more. But some great memories with Grand Rapids Football Club, and of course, I met my wife while I was playing for the team. So that's what brought me back to Grand Rapids, and obviously very thankful for Grand Rapids FC, and of course very thankful for my wife with all the time I spend away from home.
Joe, you open up GLIAC play this Friday against SVSU. You know things are going to. You actually coached at Saginaw Valley before. Yep. You're at home against Saginaw Friday. Tell some folks why they want to come out and watch your team to play.
I think the main thing, I think we're going to be exciting. We're going to be attacking. We're going to play the game in the opponent's half. We're going to create lots of chances. We're going to be physical. We're going to tackle, and we're going to compete. I think we're in a great position to compete with everyone we come up against this year, and I'm excited, as you said, to go up against my former college in Saginaw Valley, and my former roommate Tyler Chanel's their head coach, so I'm excited to be on the touchline against him.
That's a nice toucher. Joe White, thanks for joining us, and great to have you here at Davenport. We look for great things from the women's program.
Awesome. Thanks, Rick.
Great to have you.
Yep.
All right, we're going to take a break, turn things back over to football. We're going to talk with a couple of players, so stay with us as the DU Panthers Coaches Show continues here at Uccello's of Caledonia.
So do you freelance these questions?
They'll shift him over to the right side now on 1st and 10. And they'll give it to Myron up the middle. Got to see him again. 45, 50. Myron Harris, 45, 40. Myron to the 30. Myron to the 20. And he's run out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. Whitaker looks at his set. He's got the beef to his left. He'll give it to Harris. Harris to the 2, to the 1. Myron Harris. Touchdown, Davenport! Myron Harris from 2.5 yards out. His first touchdown of the game, and DU gets a little breathing room. And that was a big one, and Davenport had lost momentum at that time. And our guest right now, Myron Harris, running back, 5'11", 250-pound redshirt junior from Clinton Township, Michigan, went to Chippewa Valley High School, and, of course, went to Wayne State before he joined us right now. Myron, let's talk a little bit about the team, the start of this team so far. What do you like that the team's done? Let's talk about your offensive side of what the offense has done, and what do you think you guys still got to do better?
I think that our offense has done a great job at taking to where we're good at, but, answer some of the questions that, people had, prior to the season. For example, like the last game, some people said that our offensive line was our weakest spot, and we had a better rushing game than we did the first game. And arguably, we should have, took care of that first game a lot better than we did. So, so the fact that we're improving little by little, week by week is huge. And that means we're headed in the right direction. So I'm loving the direction our offense is headed in right now.
Myron had a lot of success at Wayne State, where he came, transferred over. 2 years ago, he was all-GLIAC first team. Last year, all-GLIAC second team. And all-academic team also he was at Wayne State. What drew you to Davenport and Coach McEwen's program?
The culture. I believe, no shots to Wayne, but I believe that Davenport has a culture here and they have a standard. And that's not something that I had at my old school. And plus, just thinking in the grand scheme of things, I needed to be somewhere where not only I was wanted but valued, but where the team, wanted to win. And, they say home is where the heart is. And once I came up on my visit, it felt, just like home. And I couldn't even describe it. So when I called my parents to make the decision, like they were all for it.
Myron, let's take you back to your high school days, Chippewa Valley High School. Was there a particular coach that really was influential in your development? Who was that?
Oh, yeah, there was really 3 coaches, but the 2 main coaches were Scott Merchant and Andy Damrider.
What did you learn from them?
I learned a lot. I learned to grow up, one. I learned how to, become a leader. They held my IQ of the game, because back in high school, I played quarterback. And they switched my position to running back my senior year. And they helped me with that transition, as best as they could. And it's because of them that I am, where I am, right now. So, since
you're a former quarterback, I got to think you're probably bugging Sparky, but let's put that halfback option pass in there, huh?
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Is it in the playbook? You can't reveal that.
Yeah, no. You got to come and watch. You got to come and watch.
All right. Well, you were on the Detroit Free Press Dream Team, so that spoke for your fantastic high school career as well. Majoring in health and human services case management. Educate me on that. What does that equate to job-wise down the road possibly?
Well, after I make it to the NFL and after my career is long-lived in the NFL, I want to, be a sports psychologist. I want to stay around the game. I want to be kind of like the therapist for the teams and therapist for the players because, as a football player and as an athlete in general, we're taught to, just once we step in between our, field of play that everything, doesn't matter. And a lot of times, a lot of guys don't have outlets to, deal with what they're, going through. So I feel like by me doing that and with my personality and, how I was raised, by my parents and everything, I think I'd be a great therapist.
Well, you check all the boxes with the talent and the academics and everything. I'm sure you'll succeed at that. Was there something that got you thinking about that sports psychologist, direction? Was there a particular person or something happened in your life that got you thinking about that?
Well, so it's kind of interesting because a lot of people say I look like my father, but my mom, she was a law and psychology major, I think, and she wanted to be a lawyer. And for some reason, growing up as a kid, I never knew that, but I always wanted to be, become a lawyer and, and get into psychology. And then I found out that I'm in love with the brain, in love with how the brain works and how the brain processes things. So, once I got into that and, talked to her about it, she kind of steered me in the right direction. And ever since then, I just been falling in love with it and, doing my own research on, little things. So that kind of sparked that journey right there.
All right, finally, Myron, the team's off to a good start, 2-0. You got momentum going. Would you just soon have a game this Saturday, or would you like having a week off this week?
I think the week off is, pretty good. For the starts that our last 2 games, I've had, we got some guys that are a little beat up. So I think the time to, rest, recoup and have fresh legs is almost as if we're playing the first game all over again is, pretty good to keep the momentum and to get it going even greater.
We look for more excitement from Myron Harris in the Davenport uniform this year. All right, we'll take a time. I'll come back with another player. Stay with us. The DU Coaches Show live from Uccello, California continues. And we continue our final segment of the Davenport Coaches Show from Uccello's in Caledonia. And a special guest joins us today with a special honor. The GLIAC Defensive Player of the Week is our guest, Julius Wilkerson from Davenport, a grad student, Wisconsin native who came over from Wayne State also. And he had a phenomenal game Saturday. 17 tackles. That's the third highest total ever for a Davenport defensive player in a game. And Julius, Coach said that he asked you about your first game, and you had some success. You made some key tackles, but he indicated you weren't happy yourself with your performance in game one.
Yeah, I just felt like I left some plays out there, you know. I felt like I could do better. So I had to go back to the drawing board, assess what was going wrong, what was going right. I did a lot of praying the week before and had that game. Obviously, it was pretty good and did what I needed to do to get our team to win.
As a captain on this team, Coach has mentioned the frustration you guys have had in that third quarter. The two games you've had, you've been almost dominant in the first halves, but just come out flat in the third quarter. How do you explain that, and what do you got to do to get that turned around?
Yeah, so I think explaining that is just, you know, coming out there with the same focus and intensity that we have the first two, because, you know, you come out there, you're excited to play and stuff like that, but maybe you go in the locker room, you know, you get a little loose, that we can't fix, and I'm not worried about it. Going forward, we know we got the talent, and we know we're going to dominate the whole quarters, and that's something that we're going to address in practice and just keep on going from there.
This young man is so involved in so many things, has been when he was at Wayne State and in here as well. In fact, a terrific honor. He was recipient of the 2022 GLIAC McAvoy Award, which is presented annually to a GLIAC football player who best combines outstanding character and leadership on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. Obviously, that comes from your upbringing, but also your own beliefs and how important it is to get involved off the field.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I love just giving my time. It's something that, you know, it doesn't take much to do. Something that I can't offer a lot of money. You know, I'm a broke college student, but I can offer my time and help other people in ways, you know, done a lot of volunteering in my undergraduate years and hope to continue that going into the future.
You are a grad student looking for your master's in leadership strategies. Mm-hmm. All right. How close are you to getting your master's?
Still like a couple years off right
I just
now.
Wish we could have you a couple years of playing. We only got you for this year, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Well, other than football, let's hope you can take football as far as you can. But let's say whenever your football days come to an end, what do you see yourself doing with that master's?
Oh, yeah. So eventually I want to go back for actually another postgraduate degree. I want to become a sports psychologist. Also wanted to do a little bit of entrepreneurship because that's something that my dad does. My family owns their own business, and obviously that's why I'm going for the MBA. But I really like to do sports psychology, be able to help other athletes with the mental aspect of the game.
What kind of business would that be, do you think?
Oh man, I don't know. Right now, my parents own a daycare, so maybe
do
get
they
into
really?
Yeah, maybe get in the daycare business.
So that's you've learned about dealing with kids and young ones, right? Tell us about your family, your folks. You got brothers, sisters, or what do you have at home?
Yeah, I have two hardworking parents, my mom and my dad, and then I got my brother Vincent.
How old is he?
He is. Don't put me on the spot.
I mean, younger, older?
He's older. He's 4 years older than me. I'm 23. He's 27.
Okay.
So then I got my older sister, Dominique. She's currently in Philadelphia right now.
So you're the youngest?
No, I actually have one more younger sister. Yeah.
Oh, back in Wisconsin?
Yeah, back in Wisconsin.
Again, I ask you this at the GLIAC Media Days. It's not easy for your folks and family to get over here to watch you play, but you said they should be able to make it once or twice this year?
Oh, yeah. Yep, they're trying to make it every game. Might be a little bit difficult going up to North Dakota, but, you know, we're going to see.
Well, you know, I don't know if the SS Badger would have helped out, right? You could have taken that across before that shut down in any case here. Let's talk about this team as a team. Where do the Panthers have to give it? A 2-0 is great, but there's a lot of things that need to be shored up. What do you see it as?
Yeah, so I think just getting together. We actually haven't had our full team out there yet, and we've been doing really good so far. So I think getting out there as a full team, just gelling as we are. Obviously, you mentioned the third quarter, trying to just getting more tough in that quarter. But I think just focus. We showed a lot of focus and determination. We fight here at Davenport, and we won't quit. So I think there's not too much we got to do, not too much to worry about, but just letting it all happen.
I'll ask you the same thing I asked Myron. At 2-0 with momentum, would you rather continue to carry that momentum and play this week, or do you think it's a good time for an off week?
I think personally, I would have rather continued to play, but I think our coaches here and our coaching staff have made a great schedule for us. I think going into it, we have a great plan going forward. So this bye week actually has been a real big help for us.
All right, well, Julius Wilkerson, boy, what a treat to have you and Myron both here on the team this year. Fantastic additions to the squad. We look for great things down the road from you, and let's keep things going, bud, okay?
All right.
All right, that'll wrap up today's edition of the Davenport Coaches Show from Uccello's of Caledonia. We'll be back here next week. Again, no football this Saturday. A week from Saturday, Davenport back at home, 12 noon kickoff. We'll tell you more about that. It'll be a blackout, so plan on wearing your black shirts to the game a week from Saturday. So for our special guest, Joe White, the head women's soccer coach, our two-player guests, Myron Harris, Julius Wilkinson, and for the head football coach, Sparky McEwen, this is Rick Berkey saying so long, and go Panthers.